to the night where the paranormal unite. A party like never before under the moon's airy light. The vibe is dark, the air is cold, spirits taking flight. Get haunted and ghost and magazine leading the fright. Ghosts and ghouls dancing hand in hand, lost souls roaming the haunted land. On the battleship New Jersey we gather with glee. Horror and paranormal, a sight to see.
Hey, what is going on with my setting here? Hold on. There we go. Welcome to the second episode of Divination with Dani podcast. Hope everyone is enjoying their Sundays so far. So it's kind of nice to see that Supernatural Soiree promo in the beginning again. Who is going to this thing? Who am I going to see there? Let me know on the side. Fun fact, some of you may have seen this. Some of you may not. Let me pull up my screen. I ordered stickers. Check out these stickers. Look at these. Hold on. There's a bigger screen here somewhere. I have to figure out my screens. Look at these little guys. I love my logo. Absolutely love that. And then my boo flipping everyone off. So everyone who's going to the soiree, if you are getting the VIP ticket, you get a swag bag. These little suckers are going to be in the swag bag. I've decided that I was going to donate. And I'm really excited for all of you to have them and to see the little boos and hopefully a few people like my logo enough to use it too. But yeah, so I want to see everyone at the soiree. I want to make some new friends. So come on out, bring your friends. Let's have a good time. Other than that, let's get this show on the road. So before I bring this up, who all saw the documentary It's Coming? I loved it. I could not get over it's so fascinating because this is a real family and it is a real story. And I loved it being part of the Q&A at the end. I have so many more questions too. So I'm hoping we get a chance for like another follow-up or something. We'll see what happens, but I had such a great time. Before I go and say hi to all of you lovely people, I just want to bring this up, do a shout out really quick. Where are my settings? Here we go. So for all of you who did get your tickets for the documentary, there was this amazing, I can't think of the word, this amazing extra thing that Denise and Ernie put together here. So if you got a ticket, you got put into a drawing was the word I was looking for. Okay, so you got put into a drawing to win tickets to get to the Ditto House. So that is going to be next at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you jump right on over to Pac-Man Paranormal after this show to see who won the drawing. I'm excited for this. I can't wait to see who actually got it. This was such an amazing offer that they put out there, and I'm so thrilled to see who got it. And while people are still rolling in here, so how I did on the first one where I did the show was brought to you by, I kind of dug that, so I'm going to keep going with it. So today's show is brought to you by the Hierophant, which I was a little shocked when this card came up because this isn't one that I connect with all that often. But this is the 5th card in the Major Arcana. And give me one second here. Sarah, thank you. Contest. I don't know why. Word lost sometimes. I guess because going live, I can't think. I don't know. But yeah, contest. Thank you. Today's show is brought to you by the Hierophant, 5th card of the Major Arcana. Keywords for this one. So when you pull this, keywords to think of would be traditions, traditional values and instructions. As you can see, this looks more of a religious type figure, right? He's kind of got the robes, the gown. There's 2 people in front of him. Looks like he's in a seat of power, right? So think of traditional instruction, think of conformity, group thinking. So like when everyone comes together for a meeting or a church gathering, it's like a group thinking, right? That hive mind. Rituals, ceremony, secret knowledge, also blind obedience, and knowledge sharing. These are all keywords to think of when you pull this card. So this card really does favor rules and order, and it may indicate that this is a time where conformity may be needed for whatever situation that you're in. And this can also represent a teacher, a mentor, counselor, or a wise elder. So sometimes when you pull this card, it could actually mean to seek counsel or therapy, or just depending on where this falls with the card, or this could be, if this is a religious matter, going to like your pastor or wise woman or whoever, whatever your religious person to go to, that would be part of this one as well. And I know I don't necessarily read reverse per se, but there is always a shadow or like an opposite to each card, depending on if you read the reversal or depending on the other cards around it. So if you see this and it seems more appropriate to read the shadow side of it, I would think that it would be more of a time to not follow the rules, right? It's a time to kind of do your own thing and not go with the flow. This is also would be a time for unorthodox approach to things, a rejection of traditions, challenging beliefs, challenging the status quo, or even sometimes this can, in a reverse or a shadow reading, could mean an abuse of power. A lot of times there's when this falls into play, it's nice. A piece of advice for this card actually is to kind of check in with yourself and see if you're aligned with your personal values. Just finding that balance, right, between traditions and your personal beliefs, just to make sure that you're on a positive path with your spiritual growth. Bring this down here. So that is our card that today is brought to you by. And oh, I love this. There are so many people on the side here already. So I'd like to say hello to who's here. Yeah, I was doing real good. I was real like, yeah, let's do this. And then I hit live and we're here. Enjoy the train wreck that it is. Okay, I think first Mark was here first. So let's bring him up. Hello, Mark. How are you? And then that was me saying hello. Dale, hi, sweetheart. How are you? Happy Sunday to you as well. Kaylee, hello, hello. Sandy, my love, how are you? Stacy, nice to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sarah, I love you, Sarah. Hello. Beth, hello. Brandy, hey, how are you? Joshua, thank you for tuning in. I think that's everyone that we have at the moment. If I did miss anybody, or if there are people on the side who just haven't said hello yet, hello, welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in. Tonight is all about the 5 most popular myths and misconceptions. So there's only 5 of them, so I figured I would run through them really quick, and then if anyone wants a card reading, we can do that. Otherwise, I will find things to ramble about with tarot, no problem. So I did make some goofy little slides this morning just because I felt like it would be fun. Let me see if I can bring those up. Here they are. I think some of you may have seen I made a reel out of these earlier. So 5 most popular myths and misconceptions. There are so many myths, misconceptions, just downright, just a lot of these I think come from people being scared or people not fully understanding what the cards mean. And there's a lot more than just these 5, but these are the ones that came up the most when I did a search. So these are the 5 that we're going to go with. Our first one, which is something that I had been told when I was growing up, and I genuinely believed this one for years. You can't buy your own tarot deck. This, I don't know. I kind of feel like this one, I should have known this to be crap to begin with. And this is more of gatekeeping, right? This is more of people that are in the business for making money with this. Sometimes they don't want to share so much, right? So the more you make it mysterious, the more people come to you. And also, say for like the old school days of the Romani, this is total crap, right? Like you should definitely go out and seek your own tarot deck. You want to have that connection. You want to be able to like vibe with it, right? What are the chances of actually being able to, not saying that a gifted one isn't going to be amazing and you're not going to jive with it, but like the chances of really truly having that connection from a gift is not as strong as if you would have gone out and like vibed it out for yourself and like found that deck that really called to you, because that's where you're going to pick up the most from. Your energy is going to exchange and you're going to have that better dialogue with something that you truly connect with. You know what I mean? So yeah, total crap. Buy your own decks. I highly recommend buying your own deck. Plus too, say you're in an area, right, where maybe you're one of the only people that you know that are really into mysticism and tarot, and you will be waiting forever to get your first deck if you're waiting for someone else to buy that for you. So definitely please go out. Okay, so 2, you must be a psychic to read tarot. I would be so screwed if this was true. I no psychic bone in this body whatsoever, and I have no problem reading tarot to a degree. I'm not saying I'm an expert at it or anything, but yeah, no, you do not need to be a psychic. Tarot can be a phenomenal tool for psychics to use to help them connect or to help them pull information, right? And I've seen that happen, and it's an amazing tool for them. But you really don't need to be psychic, because this is more of a dialogue with your intuition, right? This is more like you're just talking to yourself. You don't need to be psychic for that. And I think a lot of times this one sticks around so much, and this is just personal opinion here, but people tend to use the word intuitive and psychic kind of interchangeably, even though they don't mean necessarily the same thing, but they do get used interchangeably a lot. So I think maybe that's why this one persists as much as it does. Plus, 2, every single movie that I've ever seen, just about every single movie that involves tarot, the person happens to be a psychic or like a Zoltar kind of a figure or something. But yeah, no, definitely do not need to be psychic. And if someone tells you that, do not let that be the thing that stops you from trying if you're really into it. Ooh, what is this? You prefer, pull this up really quick. I prefer Speedlight Oracle cards and Animal Kingdom cards. Ooh, I've never heard of them, but I love that. Hi, Icy Spirits. I saw you pop in there. I want to say hi really quick. So then, our third one, you can't read tarot for yourself. This one kind of shortchanges the reader a little bit, don't you think? Like, you're good enough to read for other people, but how dare you read for yourself? This one never made sense to me. And I call total bullshit on this one. You can absolutely read tarot for yourself. And for most people, that's how we learn. That's how I learned. I was terrified to read for anybody else. It's to this day, I still have a hard time finding the confidence for a lot of times for reading with people until I get into it, and then it's like, okay, either it's going to be right or it's going to be wrong at the end of the day, but reading tarot for yourself, I think, is the best way to start learning. And yeah, don't let people tell you. If someone tells you that you can't read for yourself, I would think twice before taking any other advice from them. I'm not saying that they're wrong in anything else, but it doesn't make sense. Definitely, it helps you with that dialogue with yourself. Please, definitely read your own tarot cards before you start reading for other people. Hi, Stacy. All right, so we have the 3. We have you can't buy your own deck, which we say is total crap. You have to be psychic. No, you don't. And then you cannot read for yourself. You can absolutely read for yourself, and I would suggest that people start by reading for themselves. There are bad cards. Can you guys see this one? I love this one. No, not really. Some of these look really scary, right? I'll agree. They look scary, but they're not. Like, we have the Tower, we have Death, the Devil, the 10 of Swords, 9 of shit. All of the swords look terrifying, right? All tarot does is mirror. It mirrors what we're thinking and what we're feeling, and it reveals potential paths to where we're going. So I know for me, when I had my very first reading by somebody else, I think I may have pulled all of the terrifying cards in there. There was definitely Tower, Death. I'm pretty sure the Devil was in there somewhere. I was going down a path that really wasn't meant for my highest and greatest good. And it was just the cards warning me, hey, maybe consider what you're doing here a little bit. Maybe there's a different way to do this. That's all those cards are ever doing. Yeah, so for as terrifying as those are, they're not really bad. And, we have free will. We can always change the path that we're on. So if we get the scary as hell cards, we can change what we're switching up something in our day-to-day life, or how we think about something can completely change the direction that the cards had told us that we were going. So nothing's ever set in stone with tarot. Okay, so some of these cards may be considered bad because there's a few reasons why people might get terrified of these. It might go against your ego's desires, right? Our egos can be very strong, especially when they're not kept in check. So that can be terrifying when it goes against that. Also, when you have something that shows a path that's going to go down a road where it's going to be something that triggers you. Nobody wants to deal with something that triggers them. It's never fun. But these cards can kind of warn you if you're going down that path, and that can induce anxiety, right? So I get that. Also, every time you get these, this is an invitation to sit down with yourself, and sometimes you're just not ready to process what it's showing you need to sit with. So when you think about it, right, tarot's just guiding us to live our best lives. And if you think of it that way, how can there really be a bad card when tarot is actually asking us to just consider we want the best for you. So here's where you're at. Here's where you can go. So yeah, no real bad cards. Hi, Josh. Then on 5, we have one more here. So the 5th one, tarot cards are evil, and using them is basically you're in league with the devil. Like, I've heard this one so many times, and depending on what area you live in and depending on the scope of how intense certain religions are around you, you'll get this one thrown at you a lot. Lord knows I did. Listen, I don't think we're going to go to... This one burns me up because this is most possibly the most frustrating of all of the myths and misconceptions. Being told that you're going to go to hell for reading tarot cards, that's a little much. And who are any of us to say shit? Who knows? I mean, maybe we are going to all go to hell for reading tarot cards. At the end of the day, I don't know what happens to us when we're gone, but I'm sure as hell, I am pretty damn sure that we're not going to go to hell for picking up a deck of cards and laying out a spread and looking at them. There are 78 playing cards. What we pick up on them is what our intuition is guiding us to. This is not playing God. When we put out cards on a table and we're reading them, we're not playing God. We're not telling people how to live their lives. We're just saying, here's what's being shown to us, and it's changeable. So that evil spirit aspect of this, if you really, truly believe that, I'm not going to tell you you can't believe that, because if that's your belief, have at it. I'm just going to have to agree to disagree with you on that one. They're not evil. None of it's evil. It's a dialogue. At the end of the day, it's a dialogue with yourself, your higher self. Some people consider that they're talking with their spirit guides and their angels, and who's to say that they're not? They might very well be. So I don't feel like any of that is actually evil. Have any of you on the side? Stop. Yeah, horrible idea, bro. Horrible idea. So those are our 5 major ones, right? Has anyone on the side ever heard of any of them? Or have any of you been told not to dive into divination or tarot cards because of any one of those 5 things? Oh, what is this? I have to pull this up to read it. It says, same book that says it's evil. The divination also says eating shit. Yes, right? Yeah, there are many things with that are contradictory, or I just... Then again, I'm pretty sure men created that book, so there's that. But that's a whole other freaking discussion that I get fired up about, so we're not going to bring it up here, but I agree. So here on the side, who does play with tarot? Or I know Joshua said he works with oracle cards. Sorry, when I say play, I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just how it comes out. Let's see. So, does anyone want any cards read for them? Otherwise, we're going to have some fun with whatever I pull out of the deck here. Bring up this screen. I love that little boot, though. You need to go away. And you need to go like this. Okay, Brandy, we are going to pull some cards for you. Hold on. I just dropped something. I don't want the dog to get. Okay. So remember, speaking of those 5, I remember when I first bought my own deck that I actually had a lot of people that yelled at me for that. I was actually really shocked by all of that. Okay, so we're going to be up first. Brandy. Brandy's getting her card. Oh, I love that you guys are ready for a card pull. Thank you. It's made my night. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Can you see? Okay, so we have the Magician, which that's a beautiful card. You can see he has all of the tools right in front of him, everything that he needs. There's a lot of lush growth there. He's very as above, so below. There's this nice balance. This is like that card of manifestations. Let's see what we can get to go with that. Ooh. Okay, so we are going to pull another card. So, Brandy, I don't know where this is going so far. I'm going to pull another card for clarification, but have you recently, now or in the recent past, have you struggled with something where you kind of were just doing too much and maybe you felt overburdened or like there was too much on your plate to do at once? Because a lot of times with the 10 of Wands, you're going in the path. You're going to get there, but you have so much going on. You have so much in your hands that you can't see where you're going. So this is one of those cards that just suggests, put everything down, delegate what you can to other people. Okay. So this is just saying you don't have to do everything or you don't have to do everything at once. Don't be afraid to ask for help if it's, if that's the thing that you need to do. And this is also, I'm going to pull another card. I know we just talked about the scary cards, right? So this just means, okay. Yep. So for you, if this is something that's going on for you right now, if you're feeling very overloaded right now, what I'm seeing is because we have the Magician, right? He's saying you have everything that you need. You have this amazing ability to manifest everything into your existence. You need to put a few of those wands down, see what you actually need to do. This is a time to clear house too. Like get rid of all of the stuff that you don't actually need. This is the time to clear that out, if that makes any sense to you. And by doing that, by getting rid of the stuff that's not serving you, by not saying yes when you should be saying no, by not, asking for help or saying, hey, bro, can you go do this for me because I need to take care of X, Y, and Z. Doing all of this is going to give you this new mindset, or it's going to help you to get to that fresh new idea that you needed to jumpstart that next idea, that next project, because you're coming into that right now. That is your ability to manifest is going to be so strong, or is so strong right now. And just keep in mind that if you start feeling like you're overwhelmed or like you're tripping over yourself, put everything down, let a fresh new mindset come in, because you've got some amazingness in front of you. So don't let that pass you by. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Okay, I think I saw Stacy was next. Why is this not moving for me? Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Stacy, you are up next, my dear. All right. I think I want to have an episode, because I know there are a few people who actually read tarot or even any kind of divinatory. I kind of want to have a show where I bring people on to have them share some advice, because I even have some questions. There are times, because this is happening to me right now, I get really jittery when I'm pulling cards and things come to me super fast, and it's really hard to slow down the thoughts. And I'm just wondering if anyone else has that, or like what exactly that is. Oh, Stacy, you got some stuff jumping, honey. All right. So you have Four of Swords. So with the Four of Swords, this is somebody who's laying down. And it looks like a house of worship, or like a place where you can be safe, because there's a stained glass window, which would indicate like a church or just a place of worship. And this is telling you this is time for you to rest, to possibly reflect, meditate, not in a bad way. This is just like maybe even a calm before the storm. We're going to pull some extra cards here for this. Yeah. There's a crossroads in here too. Okay, so this is rest in a good way. This is meditation in a good way, because there is a lot of stability, a lot of just ease and sturdy ground here. Like there's a lot of being comfortable in the situation, right? This isn't like stressing. This isn't having to worry or because you're battle worn, right? This is just because this is just that calm before the storm, needing to meditate or reflect on something, because you're solid. You don't have to worry, but there's something coming up where a decision's going to have to be made. And right now, either you don't have what's needed to make that decision isn't here yet, or there's something that you're still processing that you're not able to see it, even though it's there. There's something to do with like a crossroads situation. Okay. but there's a guiding light coming for that. I don't know if you can see that's the star. So I know a lot of times with star, I say guiding light, and I mean like spiritual assistance here, which I don't know what the situation is for you right now, Stacey, but I feel like spiritual assistance is kind of like right up your alley. So yeah, this is just kind of like you're in a waiting period, but it's a stable, good place, and you're just waiting for the markers to show up to be able to make a decision on one thing or another. So I'm hoping that makes sense for you. Hello. I love Sarah so much. She is such an amazing human being. Okay, Kaylee, you are next, my love. All right. But yeah, what do you guys think if I would ask other people who read tarot or do some form of divination to come on and have like a round table or have like everyone help out with readings? Would that be something that you would be interested in? All right, Kaylee, here we go. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles, this is kind of one of those knowledge sharing and honing in on your skill, like learning and sharing at the same time here. Like he's got his skill set that he's working on this beautiful pillar, and he's got two scholars here and they're discussing it, and just working on your skills, learning from everybody, teaching at the same time. So like a knowledge share, building of your abilities. And this is something that is a passion of yours. So this is something that you're working on now that is a true passion. And this is something that you're going to come into. This is going to be a very fertile time for you for focusing on that, because you can see like the Queen of Wands are passion. They're that moving forward with like work or something to do with the physical realm. And you have this amazing, like there's flowers even in the background. There's a flower here. And that's all about like just coming into, it's blossoming, it's blooming, it's fertile. The cat. Also, I'm thinking that maybe this might be something a little bit more divinatory for you, because I'm getting very pulled into the cat, and the cats are more like the mysterious magic. Just feel like whatever you're working on, maybe it's your abilities, because I know you do pick up on things. Yes. So I think to focus on the things that are more connected to your ability to connect with yourself, with your emotions, with your intuition, because right now this is kind of like that time of give and take for you to be able to build up on those skill sets. So whatever you're coming into right now, this is a beautiful opportunity to really get the most out of what you're trying for. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense for you. Let's see. Joshua, absolutely. I can pull you a card. Do that one next. Okay, good. Oh, I love that people actually really are into that idea. I really do want to do that. Just think that would be fun, because I know, I started off on my not my paranormal journey, but on my divination journey with tarot and everything. I was so, I guess I held myself back so much that I did not ask questions. I did not ask for guidance the way I could have. And I think that like now I'm at that place where I really want to learn from everybody else. This is for Joshua. Oh, I love this. So this is one of those cards. You had one that just jumped, honey. Hold on. Oh, okay. So there's something here. So I always love seeing the victory reads here. This is like this homecoming. This is, and if there was something that you had been working on, or if there was some sort of something to do. I don't know why travel's coming to me, but something to do with like travel or a project where there was a lot of moving parts, because this is Wands. So like movement, earth, like the whole fire. So passion. So there's something here where there's a real good reason to get excited about it, a real good reason to come home with exciting news. There might be some aspect of this, though, that you're not seeing the victory as a victory, or you're holding back there's something you're worried about with this, which I don't think that you necessarily need to worry about. No, you don't at all. So there's something that's really amazing. And please, like if you're seeing something different here, because I'm getting pulled in a million directions with this one. So Okay, what I'm getting, and if you see something different, go with it, is there is this amazing victory. There's some form of like a project went well, or there's going to be some form of travel, or just something that sparked your passions. And it was really exciting at first, but like maybe now there's some sort of reservation. You're holding yourself back from truly seeing it as the victory that it actually is. And here's the thing, like sit with that, because it's not necessarily true, because this is just a beautiful, this went just as well as it looks like it did. Like the victory wreath, being able to come home and just be really excited about that and share that news with everybody. That's true. This is that time of abundance for you, of just like having what you need to do everything, and you don't have to worry about the other shoe dropping on this situation. Like this is a beautiful, abundant, like let yourself enjoy it. So I don't know if that makes any sense, or if you're seeing it a little differently, but I think that's a really good pull. Okay, let's see. Oh, hello. Let's see if we can pull something good for you. All right, Mary. Here we go. Give me 1 second here. How many of you in here are, oh, that jumped. How many of you in here are actually work with energy at work at all? I'm really interested to see how many people come from a background of, because I know there's a couple Reiki masters in here. I can see you all on the side. Just out of curiosity. You had this jump, so we're going to keep that in mind. Oh, you can't see that. Now you can see it. It's the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups looks really sad. And it is one of those, like, if there was a disappointment or something didn't go the way that you had expected it to go, like there's he's very like that crying over the spilt milk kind of a situation, right? So mourning the loss of what was spilt. But here's the thing, like feel the feels that you need to feel, but like let the process lead you to the fact that there are so many other amazing things for you. So maybe what happened that you were disappointed with, maybe that wasn't actually meant for you. Even if you thought that you wanted it to be, it wasn't. There is a better path for you. And then once you turn around to see like these amazing things that are there is a whole path that you just don't see yet that leads. It's like there's like a bridge here, and then in the background there's a little castle. There's this whole other path that leads to something really great for you. So it's like just around the corner. But right now, so if this makes sense, right? The situation of just kind of having to grieve or mourn the situation that didn't happen. There's this whole energy of being stuck in your own head, or like fighting yourself on it. If you can see like this person's laying, like he's not able to rest. He's not being able to rest because there's all these swords, and it's just like things going through his head, and you're fighting yourself. There's this whole little battle scene on the bottom of the bed. This is kind of like you're fighting yourself with something, or you're not letting something settle. And it might be beneficial just to ask yourself why with that. And you have the strength to get through this situation. Like, honestly, this is one of those fight the good fight, figure out what it is that's stopping you from getting past this, because you have the ability to get through it, no problem. You can see this woman is basically taming the beast, right? Like not being afraid of the situation. And there's this whole, he doesn't look scary. He doesn't look aggravated. He looks very peaceful. There's this eye connection. There's just like this whole like motherly, it's a good situation. You have the power to get through this. I'll pull one more card for clarification here. Okay, so this is a form of like transformation, right? And so whatever this is going to be a very empowering, very transformative. This is going to give you a whole new outlook on life. You just need to let go of the things that you cannot, like, so let go of the past, let go of the things that you can't change because they're not changeable. And then once you've done that, there's this beautiful opportunity to just move forward with a fresh, clean slate, because you have everything's transforming. You're being like leveled up, if that makes sense. This is just like you're in a process of leveling up, and it's like the beginning of leveling up's a little bit gritty, but like once you get through it, it's beautiful. And then you can look back on it like, why did I ever fight myself? So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I think it's a beautiful pull, because the death card, I'm not going to lie, is one of my favorites, because it is one of those, you're transforming, you're letting go of what no longer serves for this beautiful, fresh new energy. So Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense for you. And obviously, like I tell everybody, if you see something different or maybe one aspect of it makes sense to you, but the rest of it, always go with what you feel is right, because these are for you. Icy spirits. If time, I would like for you to pull a card for me. Absolutely. Stacey, you are very welcome. Okay. Yeah, I'm still learning the timing here. So bear with me, guys. All right, Icy, here we go. Are you guys okay with my camera angles here? Hopefully. I hope so. Here we go, Icy. So just a reminder, at 8, I'm going to card the jump. 8 p.m., make sure you switch over to Pac-Man Paranormal. They're going to be revealing the contest winners for the Ditto House. Icy spirits. Here we go. Okay. All right, so for me so far, what I'm seeing is, and I think we just got done saying how the swords are one of those, the scaries, right? But they're not really. So it's just like, as you can see with this one, right, you have this woman who, she's bound, but I don't know if you can tell, like she's not bound very tightly, right? There's a very loose binding on her, and there's all these swords around her. But one thing to notice is there's not actually swords blocking her. They're on either side of her. They're not actually in front of her or behind her. They're just aside of her. So this is kind of like one of those, you're making, or you're allowing, not making, wow, you're allowing something to feel bigger than it actually is. This is, you're holding yourself back. You're not letting yourself see past a situation. This is one of those where, and she's like standing in these little puddles, right? And water and emotion kind of go hand in hand when it comes to tarot. This is one of those, so like you're allowing something to feel bigger than it actually is. You're allowing anxiety or fear to keep you in place, when really there is a path for you. There's a path for you to move forward, and there's actually a clear path to this castle behind you. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little castle behind all of the swords. So there is a clear path there. You just have to realize that you're not as bound and you're not as blinded as you actually feel like you are. So it's just one of those, like stepping back and maybe taking the emotion out of something and just looking at a situation for what it really is. And this could be, this whole like being bound could be too many options, right? So when you have like the 7 of Cups, there's these plethora of choices ahead of you, right? So like some of these look amazing, some of these look mysterious, some of these look downright terrifying. So a lot's there. It can be extremely overwhelming, right? I know, like when I'm given 5 million choices, my brain goes, I don't know how to compute this. Like, what the hell? So this is one of those, like, this also asks you step back, look at things, ask yourself, sit with things with your heart center. Like, what is truly meant for me? What is going to be good, like for my highest and greatest good? What's going to be beneficial to me? And what comes to you and feels right within your heart center is definitely the way that you should move forward. Always never be afraid to check in with yourself, regardless of what anyone else is saying. You are your best piece. Like, you're your best tool for everything. So listen to your intuition, listen to your heart with this one, and it's going to help you break free from the binding. It's going to help you see the path to the castle. Yes. And this is going to be one of those where the path that you decide is going to be one that is it's very beneficial. This might seem slow moving at first because you have to wait for everything to like really fully develop, right? That this man, he's cultivated this beautiful garden and he's waiting for everything to ripen, waiting for his moment to be able to harvest, right? But this is all positive. This is all very nurturing, very grounding, just a very, like, being able to be proud of yourself for the choices that you've made. So if there's something that feels a little overwhelming right now, just check in with yourself. And after you've checked in with yourself, that's going to be the right path for you. And then just roll with it. Let it guide you. And it might not be instantaneous, but it's definitely going to be worth it. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense for you. Okay. Oh, thank you guys for letting me know if it makes sense or not. It makes me feel so much better about these readings. So Teresa, hello. I would love a reading. Yes. I do not have a website. I do have a Facebook page and I am on YouTube. But you can always reach out to me on Facebook. But I can pull some cards for you now if you'd like. All right, we're going to. I'm sorry if the gulp that I just did that was really annoying to me. I hope if that caught through on the microphone. I am so sorry. Yikes! All right, Teresa. Okay. So like I was saying before, with the swords, this is, you're in your own head. I don't know if that makes any sense for you at all. I'm going to pull some other clarifying cards. This is like, it is one of those cards of like internal struggle, being in your own head, not being able to rest and needing the rest. Okay. So this is one of those, you need to take the moment to just kind of check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that you are struggling with so much? What aspect is the most concerning that you can't just let it be? Because then you need, okay. So with this is there's a struggle. There's some form of struggle. There's some form of like mental agitation that the cards are asking you to take a minute to check in with yourself. Let yourself have that moment of rest, reflection, asking yourself maybe even some of the harder questions as to why you're struggling so much. There is a new path there. And sometimes that's where the struggle is, because sometimes your new path can be terrifying to take those first steps. Because like, even look at this guy. There's a cliff. He's got to take this blind leap of faith to move into his first steps of his journey here. And that can be super scary, but it can also be super beneficial. And if there's something new on the horizon that you're struggling with, check in with yourself, because I don't feel like it's going to be, it doesn't need to be as scary as it might feel. All right. This is definitely struggling with something within yourself. So with the devil card, I don't know if you can see, like, there's chains here, right? And you guys can see that they're very loose. They're not even like, they're not really choking. They're kind of wearing them more like a necklace. So this is like one of those, when you see the devil, it's to check in with yourself. It's to say, all right, what aspects of myself am I letting run wild that maybe I should have in check? This is one of those, like, what fears am I letting take control when they don't need to be? This is one of those, it's a big card for vices. So like, if like, it's the easy ones to explain with this are like gambling or drinking, or just like those big hit items that can maybe steer you off course. So if there's something like that going on, and I'm not saying it's drinking and I'm not saying that it's gambling, but those are just like really easy examples to pull for the devil. So if there's something that maybe you're struggling with that can be something that veers you off path, check in on yourself on that. Yep. There's just this balance that needs to be there. And it's quite possible. And it's, if you need to check in with somebody, if you need to talk to somebody, do it, because right here, or even check in with yourself, right? Because with temperance, there's this beautiful balance, this flow, this give and take, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. So like this tapping into your intuition, tapping into whatever spiritual beliefs, and also just like finding a way to ground yourself is really going to help you get to this new journey, right? Because there's this road here where this beautiful crown's coming up over the horizon. And this is the path to your new path. So if you're struggling with something right now, just to take that minute to check in with yourself, because there is a way to get to a really beautiful sweet spot, and it's right around the corner. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, you can even reach out to me after the show and we can sit and I can pull extra cards, or however you'd feel more comfortable with that. Okay. I love when I see people that do tarot and oracle cards both. And Kayla, you are so welcome, my dear. I would love to do a reading for you, Sarah. Yay. Okay. I'm going to do cards for Sarah. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Denise. I don't know if you're still on, but hello. I have everybody coming over to your show next to tune in to see who won the Ditto House contest. All right, Miss Sarah Jane. So I don't know if you guys saw the documentary, but Sarah was definitely in the house where that documentary took place. It's phenomenal. I love that. Okay. One more shuffle. Of you on the side here who do readings yourselves, do you have moments when you're pulling cards where your brain just starts racing and you can't tell why? I would love to know why I do this. All right. Sarah, you're getting these right away. Okay, so I'm going to pull another card too because I need to know how to read the one. So with the 8, that's 8, right? Yes. So with the 8 of Cups, this is one of those kind of taking that time to like step back from things, right? Like this is not necessarily, this might look a little scary. It's not a scary card at all. What this is saying is, excuse me, step back from the outside world, all of like the humdrum, the buzz, like all of the distractions of the outside world. This is asking you to kind of like step back from that because you have some things that to reflect on for yourself, if this makes any kind of sense. So like the moon is always a card that with any card with the moon, there's usually something to do with having to sit with feelings and emotions. And the fact that this man is walking into a cave and the fact that he's wearing red too, like, so this is something that I think is going to be very beneficial for you on a very physical plane to sit back and like reflect on things. And then also the fact that there are cups and there's water, and so this is going to be something that is going to benefit in like a very balanced, because there's going to be like your grounding, your root chakra, right? So it's very physical, it's very of the world. And then you have your cups, which is very your emotion and your intuition, and also part of like your heart chakra and higher. So this is like that nice balance. So this is just like stepping back to give yourself that moment. And I know, especially for Sarah, I don't know if how many of you realize how much work Sarah does, but that woman does not stop. So taking a minute, that wouldn't be so bad, right? So here's the thing. I think the cards are asking you to take that minute to check in because you have the Chariot here. The Chariot is this amazing card of victory, right? So this is like warrior-looking gladiator guy. He's in a chariot. He's definitely victorious. There's definitely a victory there, but it's a victory won through hard work. It's nothing's given, right? Nothing's just given just because. So this is like one of those cards where it takes this balance. Like I would see like there's like a top to me that looks like a top, right? And so like for a top to work properly, it needs to be perfectly balanced, right? It has to have like the right spin, the whole 9 yards. So this is like one of those, you're going to get your victory, but you're going to have to work for it. And a lot of times with that, the reflection does come into play. But so Queen of Swords, taking no shit. This is something that she's always said to me too, like, be kind, be lovely, just don't take shit from anyone either because it's not necessary. And she's right. Do no harm, take no shit, right? So with the Queen of Swords, you have, so what I'm seeing with the Queen of Swords this time, and she's one of those queens. I don't know if you can see this. She's quick-witted, right? First off, with the sword, she's quick-witted. She cuts through the crap. She doesn't have time for bullshit. She just doesn't. But also what I'm seeing with her for this one is there's the butterfly at the bottom of the chair. So what I think is whatever this whole process is, this is like a transformative process. So this is like coming to terms with something or clearing a path for yourself, or like just cutting through some kind of nonsense, just cutting right through all the clouds of shit and just being like this. And I think that's where the Chariot comes into play too. Like just not playing games on this one, not taking any chances, knowing what you want for yourself. Yep. And this whole situation. So with this, no, I'm trying to move it and it's not moving. The Knight of Pentacles, right? So fun fact about the Knight of Pentacles, he's actually the only knight that's not charging into battle. I don't know if you've noticed, like he's standing there and it looks like a tilled field, right? For me, I think that looks like a tilled field for me. So this is one of those, your groundwork is being laid, very fertile ground, right? So he's sitting there, he's contemplating, he's holding the pentacle, he's holding this is just like this orb of groundedness, of security. This is also patience, right? So which also plays into like the reflection and the needing balance and the cutting through the crap, but also making sure that you're not charging into something, that you're taking the time to sit with exactly what you want, because you're done with bullshit. You're ready to move forward, and you're ready to like just make it freaking work the way it's supposed to. Does that make sense at all? I can pull one more card for this. I love this. Yeah, this is you're coming out of, yep. You're coming out of a time of struggle, right? So the whole thing with the Five of Pentacles is that feeling of struggle, that feeling of not, like it doesn't feel stable, right? But like the thing with this, they're on their way around the corner. And for me, when I see this one, especially with this reading, this to me looks like a safe refuge, right? Like, so people would consider a church a safe refuge. They're going around the corner. Those doors going to be open. They're going to find this amazingness. And there's like this phenomenal, so with the Lovers, this is like that connection with yourself. This is connection with others. This is almost like a divine guidance here, right? So this is one of those, especially with this, like you're on the right path. You just got to check in with yourself, ask yourself what you want, what you don't want, find that sweet spot of balance, and you're going in a really good direction. So if this doesn't make sense, talk to me later, because I can fill you in a little bit more with that. Okay, so we have a couple more minutes here. Yes. Oh, yes, you can totally. Arena. Okay. Joshua, you are so welcome. Denise, I heard amazing things about you in energy work at the last event that I was at. And I would love to see you in action, because they were just so enthralled with your ability. I thought it was so, it would made my heart happy to hear. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Are you fighting yourself on anything right now? Because the universe is showing me that things are trying to fall into balance here. They're trying to fall into place. I'm going to pull one more card here. I need one more for clarification. So with the wands, so what is this, 8? Yes, 8. So the wands look like they're falling into place perfectly, right? There's nothing obstructing them. They're like boom, 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 falling right into where they need to. But I feel like this process is either timing isn't feeling like, so either you're feeling like it's taking too long, or that you're not realizing that things are falling into place, because there's something where there's like you're feeling like stagnant, or having to wait and not wanting to wait, just dissatisfaction. There's just some form of just feeling like almost like that feeling of wanting to crawl out of your skin. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but that's what I'm getting with this. And what the cards are asking for is for you to just have that things are falling into place, things are lining up. Sometimes the universe takes a little bit more time than we would like for it to, just because certain things need the timing that they need. And so what it's saying is just, this is that time where you need to let things happen the way they're supposed to. So this is a good time for rest, reflection, a good time for a lot of times with the Four of Cups, I like to say this is a beautiful opportunity to practice gratitude, right? Because you might not like what's directly in front of you, but there are so many other options there that you're not able to see if you're too worried about the thing that you don't want, if that makes sense at all. So it's a really good time, especially if things are falling into place and you want to keep that energy flowing in that direction. So practicing gratitude's really good idea for this, and just taking that time to reflect on things. And like, as you're reflecting, you can ask yourself, why do you feel the way you do about something? And then can you find something, where's there a silver lining in that situation? And just kind of like spin that around to a more like gratitude filled situation, because you're coming out of this. I'm reading this for the shadow side of this. Another one of those cards that looks super scary. It's not super scary. This is saying that you're coming out of a time of feeling like maybe you're rock bottom, because I don't know if you can see, like the sun's peeking out from behind the horizon there, right? So like the sun is coming out. The only way is up from here. The universe is working for you. You just got to give it time to do so. And just stand your ground. If someone's telling you, or this is also too, like check in with yourself, stand your ground with yourself. As if that self-talk is there, that's not good. You gotta work with yourself with that. But just realize that things are working the way they're supposed to. The sun will come out tomorrow. There's a brand new day coming. The only way from here is up. You don't have to struggle. So hopefully this makes sense for you. I feel like it's just, it might not seem like things are going the way you want them to, but they really are. The universe is really working with you here. You just flow with it. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. If you saw something different, definitely go with what you saw. All right, guys, we are, let's see. Oh, yeah, Reiki is a phenomenal, I don't know if modality is the right word for it, but it is a beautiful practice. Let's see, I've been dating a man named Justin for a few months now. Hopefully you're okay with me putting this, my name did. Doesn't want to commit to anything, but I really like him. Okay, so maybe just letting things flow. So that makes sense for that card reading too. So if we're going to say like working with another human being here, just letting things flow the way they need to, because maybe there's something that just needs time. You know, time's, for as much as it can be frustrating, sometimes time is like the best way to go, just letting things go the way they need to. Ooh, an intuitive medium. Oh, I love that. Brandy does Reiki. What is this? Okay. Do you find it hard to read for your friends that you know so well? So yes and no. Sometimes it's easier, but then sometimes too, you might see something a certain way. Oh, hi, Dee Dee. I saw you. Hello. Hi. So the whole thing with reading for friends, it can be easy or it can be very hard because you know them. So your mind goes one way when maybe the cards are trying to direct you in a different way. So that can be, you have to remind yourself to kind of step back from the friendship if you're going to read for friends, because what you're assuming might not be what the cards are trying to tell you. So you just have to be mindful of that. And especially too, that's where the questions, the asking if it makes sense, or asking if, you know, did this make more sense or did that make more sense? Then pull some clarifying cards, because you know them, you might think that you know more than you actually do, when you know the card's like, no, that's total crap. I actually mean it this way. So I think reading for friends doesn't necessarily need to be a difficult one, but asking more questions makes it a lot easier. Nice. All right, guys, we are coming up on time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and for being a part of this. And for anyone that I missed with the card readings, I do apologize. It's hard to work both sides here. Hopefully I can get you next time, jump on, or, you know, if you really, really want a reading, you can always reach out to me on Facebook. I'd be happy to do that for you. And make sure you jump over to Pac-Man Paranormal. They're on now. So thank you, everybody. And just remember, you know, tarot doesn't predict the future. It facilitates it. So go out there and be magical. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.